Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Erickson TV, courtesy of Lauren. Hello, Lauren.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Lauren. I was reading a recent USA Today newspaper article from Matt Krantz, and he wrote, he kind of paraphrased the annual letter that Warren Buffett writes to his shareholders.
Oh, okay.
Berkshire Hathaway.
Right.
And, you know, Warren is very well regarded from just about everybody about how, you know, his investment abilities and being able to pick companies and invest and have great returns for shareholders. So a couple of things from the letter. This is and again, I like Warren Buffett. I think he, so the thing I do like about this letter is he's very critical in the letter of other CEOs from other corporations because he's scoffing at them for citing uncertainty for not investing in projects and to move forward and to quit holding on to cash.
Okay.
So he's saying, you know what, Berkshire, we didn't share the fears, and we actually spent in this past year almost a record $9.8 billion on plant and equipment in the 2012 year, and about 88% of that's in the U.S. So he's chastising other CEOs for not doing that same kind of investing.
And if you want returns, you do have to take some risks.
Right.
Which, if there's anything he's right about, that would be it.
Right. Now, this is what he's lamenting, though. He said, this has never happened in history before. We've always beaten the S&P 500, or our company performance has always beaten the S&P 500, but we're having a little bit of a losing streak. Last year they underperformed the S&P 500, their return by about 2%.
Right.
And he says now that's the fourth consecutive year that they've underperformed the S&P 500.
Right.
He said that, of course that is not our main goal, but the fact that he highlights that, it tells me that he is sort of looking at, performance for his shareholders and trying to justify it. But so that's my one takeaway is that, and then what a person named from Greenwich Wealth Management, his take on that statement was that as Berkshire has become bigger and bigger, he says that it's very hard for large companies to outperform the market as it gets so large. That's the takeaway from this whole letter. That he made a comment that because the company's gotten so big, and I think that kind of paraphrases it in that we tilt our portfolios into smaller companies,
right?
Because the large indexes typically long term do not have as good a performance as the small indexes.
Right. Well, and also once you become as large as Berkshire Hathaway, it's just going to be luck. I mean, whether you underperform or outperform. I mean, Warren Buffett would never want to hear that.
Right.
But it's like if I understand. Basically, if his company can't outperform the S&P 500, given the kind of company that it is, there's no reason for anybody to own any shares in Berkshire Hathaway.
Right.
They should just buy the S&P 500.
Right.
And of course, I've got a simple solution. They should just buy the S&P 500.
We have a better solution.
We have an even better solution than that, actually.
Don't just buy the S&P 500, buy a globally diversified index of, and including small companies.
Right.
And you're likely going to add.
Because what Warren Buffett wants to say is that he could do all the diversification for you and do it a little bit better. But realistically, he hasn't done that for years and years and years. I mean, it's a 4-year losing streak against the S&P 500, but compared to a diversified portfolio, it's been years since he outperformed.
Right.
I don't know how long it's been.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Right.
So,
and we would look at the value funds, which they could say Berkshire is a value fund. If you go back to like the 1970s, we've outperformed it.
Right. It's been a long time.
All right. So again, don't take this as a criticism of Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway. Take this as there is a way to invest with global diversified portfolios, and this is just a reinforcement that just having all your money in large companies is not necessarily a sound strategy.
Right.
All right. Thank you for watching this episode of Erickson TV. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.